Hello and welcome to a pretty short video just going over something. You've seen the title. We're going over what the flavor tiers are in EU5. Yesterday, there was the Muscovy/Russia Tinto flavor. Again, I'm not going to go over that in any video, but at the start, they say that it's a special Tinto flavor because it's the first one where they show content from one of the 7 Tier 1 countries. And now a lot of people in the comments were, hang on, what is a tier 1 country? What does that mean? So, yeah, we'll go into that. Can you say what the other tier 1 countries are? And Pavi here saying, if I tell you now, it wouldn't be as fun and rewarding to figure it out and finding it in each Tinto flavor. I mean, sure, fair enough. Boxtrot here saying maybe calling them tier 1 is a bad idea, considering that the formables are already grouped into tiers. But, you know, this tier system is not going to make it into the game. It's just something that Paradox uses to organize their work. If you want to call it a tier S or the super important countries, it'll also be fine. And now people are obviously wondering, okay, what could the 7 tier 1 countries be? Could it, coming up with lists, coming up with ideas of what they think it should be, could be, etc. I know that when I was playing the game and obviously recording, I had a look at the countries in the tier list here. You can sort by who has the most content, flavor-wise, and obviously this was a screenshot from a video, so unfortunately I can't, obviously scroll down here. But we see 7 countries here: England, France, Ottomans, Austria, Muscovy, Castile, and Venice. And that led some people to believe, when I shared this, that Venice was part of these 7 tier 1 countries. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your perspective, point of view, and what you like to play, that is not the case. Because Yuan came out with a new post today, the flavor tiers. Pavia mentioned tier 1 yesterday, so a lot of questions about it. We started making content for EU5. They went into 3 categories in how much focus should be spent on them. Tier 1 for the major great powers and who impacts the timeline the most. So we have France, England, Ottomans, Castile/Spain, Muscovy/Russia, Austria, and Yuan/China. We have tier 2 for important ones and those that you all love playing, so that's why the Romans are here. We have the Romans, we got Venice, Brandenburg/Prussia, we got Portugal, Sweden, Denmark, Poland, Mamluks, Japan, Delhi, Holland/Netherlands, and Timurids/Mughals. Tier 3 is for everyone else that they wanted to make content for. Everything from Mali to Scotland goes here. Alright, we'll go to this in a moment because it's nice, but I think there are certain omissions that probably should be here. The most glaring one for me personally is Bohemia. I think Bohemia and maybe something like Milan or Florence. I mean, Milan and Florence have a ton of content. I think they probably could be in tier 2, but Bohemia above both of those, I think, is definitely... I'd say Bohemia is a more important and in more popular, important and popular than, for example, Portugal, than the Mamluks, than Delhi, than... Honestly, I'd say Bohemia is probably around about equal with Holland. It's definitely higher than Venice. Though the last time we got stats on countries that people like playing, as in like what are the most played countries in the game, I mean, that was something like 2016 that we last got any stats on that. And Custom Nation was in first place. I think England was in second place. After that, I don't really recall. But I definitely think Bohemia... But again, while I do think that is a glaring omission, it also doesn't matter. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't actually change the game at all. It is just, as Pavia said, an internal ranking system, right? I don't think this means that, when they're thinking about DLC to add in the future, where they're going to add more dynamic historical events, more unique advances, more unique reforms and privileges and content for various countries, they're not going to go, oh, well, we got to give this country more because it's in tier 2, than this country that's in tier 3. That's not what's going to happen. That's not really relevant, right? If there is content to be added, say, for a tier 3 Bohemia, then they will just add it. And they're not going to, like, skimp out just because they're not putting it in tier 2. Like, it is purely just a categorization, and it does not impact the game, as in it's not a mechanic in the game. It is not something that you, oh, this is a tier 2 country, therefore it gets X bonus mechanically, right? So I wouldn't worry about that. Even though I'd still think, you know, Bohemia probably should be in this list. Either way, though, a little bit of a teaser, a little bit of a, oh, look at this. We have a screenshot of a provincial levy of England, where you can see on the map that it's a regiment of mailed knights, 1 footman levy, 1 pitchfork feudal levy, and 2 warbows, and you can see all of those dudes here. The footman levy, we have the feudal levy, the 2 warbows, and then there is the cavalry. Obviously, he's only hovering over the infantry, so you can't see the cavalryman there, but he is, in fact, there. And I think that's really cool. Again, I think it is awesome to see units on the map. Again, I think they are too small, and I would love to see them scaled up a little bit. And I'm actually made a thread saying that I think they should be scaled up. And apparently a lot of people disagreed with me. I don't know why. Let me just go into my postings. It's been a while. It's been a while since I commented on my own post. There. I made a post here that I think the unit models are too small. I would like to see them be a bit bigger, and I shared the screenshot that you saw in my previous video. Yeah, I don't think that I think it's not really a controversial thing to say that I think this is too small, right? This is the size of your screen, you know? This is a full screenshot of the entire screen, and they're very small, even though I've zoomed in to the point where, you know, the location of Florence takes up a large chunk of my... I don't understand why people had such a visceral... I think it's just because it's me. I'm maybe a controversial figure, apparently. But, yeah, I don't know. There's, I feel like there's a lot of stupidity going on. Either way, I still think that is the case. I still think they are a little bit too small, and I would like to see them scaled up. So, yeah, I don't know. If you disagree with me, have fun with your opinion, I guess. But anyway, what we have next week, there is a Tinto Flavour on Venice and Genoa on Monday. Serbia and Georgia is coming on Tuesday. Orthodox and Miaphysite religions and also Nestorians are going to be involved in this as well on Wednesday. On Thursday, we get another one of the behind-the-scenes videos. These are really interesting, and I highly recommend that you go and watch them. They're on the EU channel. I will put a link in the description to those. And then on Friday, Tinto Flavour about the Roman Empire. Don't worry about this part. This part is the relevant bit. Anyway, I am looking forward to seeing you. I'll probably do the Venice and Genoa Tinto Flavour on Tuesday, and, you know, just delay everything by a day so I can get in the interesting, you know, post comments. And that's a good idea. Anyway, I will see you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.